Hello and welcome to We Are the Famous EFC with me, Adam. I'm joined by Mr. Drone. Thanks for joining me, Nick. It is the match preview, Fulham versus Everton at Craven Cottage on Saturday, 3 p.m. kickoff. How are you feeling going into the game, Nick?
Yeah, a funny one, Adam. All right. It'll be a tough game. I don't think we've beat Fulham at Craven Cottage since 2009. So it's obviously a tough place to go, especially this season. They're a good team under Silver, aren't they? But yeah, I think we can trouble them. It's whether we're up to it or not. I think a big part of us at the moment is that our season has finished. I think that was the problem with the last game, Ipswich. We started okay and totally, took our foot off the gas completely and let them back in. I kind of knew it was going to happen as well, to be honest with you. How about you? How are you feeling? I like your top, by the way.
Nice on it. I'm feeling positive, but as you've said, we haven't won there for so many years. But the last time we keep going to Craven Cottage, it's been a 0-0 for the last 3 years.
Has it? Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been looking at it before. It's like 3 0-0s, Lampard and Dyche and Benitez.
Okay.
But feeling quite positive. I think that we'll score because our away performance is much better than the way we are away from home. I mean, at home, sorry. And I just think that the team are more solid and more comfortable playing away from home. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Everton because Fulham have been beat for the last 3 games. And we've lost the last 2 games. But they've both been away from home and 2 at home. So arguably, I think that we'll be much comfortable at the back. Idrissa Gana Gueye and the midfields will more relaxed. And I think that he'll give Yusuf Chimiti a go now. Yeah, I do. He's got to be, because if we want to see what he can bring. Yep, Beto's just scored, but I'd like to try Chimiti, and I think that he'll go into this game, look at Yusuf. I'd be like, the fans are right, because some of the fans, I believe, on X and social media have said to give Yusuf Chimiti a go to see if he's good enough, because if he's good enough, then before his contract runs out at the end of the season, if he can score us a couple of goals between now and the end of the season, then arguably I'd give him a new deal, because he's done us a favour. Because
that's interesting, Adam. It's because I think he might play Dominic Calvert-Lewin, to be honest with you. I think I think he'll play him. I'd love that. I'd love to see him play Yusuf Chimiti, because, as I said just now, our season is over. You still want to win your games, of course you do, Adam. We want to win. We want to win every game that your team plays in. But I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him give Yusuf a go, because you're right. We, as fans, we could do with seeing what he's got to offer, because we still haven't had a good, a good run of games to see. There's only 3 games left. Why not give them to him?
Yeah, I could agree with you more as well. See,
it'll be good. Dwight McNeil is definitely. I think Dwight McNeil starts, doesn't he? Now that he's back, see just the difference in Dwight McNeil to Harrison. He just already, he's only had 1 and a bit games, and he already shows what we missed and what he's got to offer. I think Dwight McNeil is going to be a massively important player for us in the next season or so to come. I really do.
Yeah, and I think that we'll stick with the same team apart from the striker, and I would arguably go for a 3 at the back against Fulham.
Okay, yeah.
Because Villa done it against them at Villa Park, and I think that I don't think Okay. Let me know if you disagree. I don't think Patterson's good enough, what he can offer. So, with O'Brien right back, he can offer lots more going forward to give the ball to whoever's on the right, whether it's Harrison or Dwight or Charlie Alcaraz. Then Nathan Patterson can't really get the second balls. He'll get the first balls, put tackles in, but the second one, he just slips like we've seen against Ipswich. So I'd go O'Brien, Branthwaite, Mikalenko.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Again, interesting, but I think you're right about Patterson, and maybe there's a little bit of a silver lining in Tarkowski getting injured. Obviously, none of us want that, and he's such a huge player for us. But maybe the little silver lining to see is that we've now had the chance to see Patterson and more of him. And I agree with you. I don't think he is good enough, Patterson, which is unfortunate. I really wanted him to be. I want them all. I want them all to be good enough. I want them all to be good when they put on that shirt to support them all. But sometimes, Adam, it just is what it is. They're not. We look at it and we just say, I don't think he's good enough to continue with us. We say it how it is, don't we? What we're watching.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's good enough either. So yeah, maybe it would be good for him to just go there. So you're saying Branthwaite, O'Brien, and Mikalenko, yeah?
Yeah. The reason I'm going with 3 at the back is because I've seen enough against Ipswich where we fell to crumbles. Not just them. The midfield as well. And I think that David Moyes could mix it up why we're mathematically safe and we can try it for next season. And if it works, then carry on with it. If it doesn't, then revert back. Just try all different and see what works.
And like you say, yeah. And if it doesn't, it's in the grand scheme of things, like I say, we always want to win. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, does it? Ideally, we want to finish 13th. That's the highest we can finish now. So, yeah, and ideally, you want to finish there. But, the only thing that matters is a little bit more money, really. Other than that, it doesn't really matter that much because we're not going down. We're not getting Europe. It's game over for the season, isn't it? So why not try? Why not try a few things and see how we go? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, then in midfield, Idrissa Gana Gueye, Jimmy Garner. Actually, no, I'll replace Jimmy Garner and put in Tim Idabuman.
Tim, yeah.
Yeah. I like what he has to offer.
I do. I think he looks a good player. Whenever you see him come on, he looks calm, composed on the ball. Big, strong lad as well. I'd like to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing Tim getting a start. Really, really wouldn't mind that. I don't think he will. I think he'll stick with Garner and Garner. Although there was something yesterday about James Garner removing Everton from his
I seen that
social media or something like that. So not sure if there's anything to read into that or what.
Yeah, I did have a look at his Instagram yesterday, and all I seen was a picture of him in the Everton kit. So I didn't really understand whether he wasn't. Did you see the thing about what Abdoulaye Doucouré said today?
Yes, yeah, that he deserves his wage and he doesn't understand Evertonians saying we'd like to keep him, but he needs a pay cut. Yeah, and we've all been saying it though, haven't we, Adam? That's
he does, because it's ridiculous. The amount his wages is absolutely ridiculous.
120,000 a week. Yeah. And he says he deserves it. And I don't know if anybody deserves £120,000 a week. If I'm totally honest, especially
if he could score every day, week in, week out, then he would. But and assist, but he doesn't. He gets in people's ways, or he'll just cock up and be lazy and all.
Yeah, passes it sideways, backwards, slows the attack. So I don't know if he sees or believes something that the rest of us, don't. The rest of us don't see or whatever. But he really should. He really should listen to the fans and try and be a bit more understanding with them. If he wants to remain an Everton player and be loved, or even if he does move on, but still he wants to be loved by the Everton fans, he really should. He really should kind of listen to what we're saying and either try and if he still thinks that, but try and say it in a better way. I don't think it's the right way to come across and say, I think they're all wrong. Do you know what I mean? I think that's the wrong way to go about things as well. But yeah, I think a lot of us agree that 120 grand a week for Abdoulaye Doucouré is just not what we should be paying.
Yeah, totally agree. Right, I've got 2 more questions, then we'll finish it up.
Go on.
So what do you make of the transfer news about Richarlison potentially coming on loan?
I think I love Richarlison, really do.
Yeah.
Loved him when he was a Blue. Loved the way, even when he left, he was so respectful, and he has been since he's left. He's made it clear he's an Evertonian. But for me, he's too injury prone. I looked at his stats. He's missed like 35 games this season. I think it was like 16 last season, something like that. He's missed lots of games. If you could absolutely 100% guarantee he's over his injury crisis, then I'm not sure, but I think it's a big risk. I think it's a risk. Although I love the lad, I think it's a big risk.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you, but I also think, well, could we improve his injuries? But another part of me says, look at Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the way he's against thingied. And he's only just came in January and he already got injured.
Yep.
And the other side of me says, because you know how he feels about Tottenham and all that. So
yeah,
I do think that
he loves our club. He loves our club. Yeah.
So therefore, that side of me says that he wants to come home. So therefore,
and that's the tough one. That is the tough one, isn't it? Because you definitely want players that want to play for you. You definitely want those players. The players that, Richarlison played the last half of his last season at Everton with an injury and fought his socks off to save us from relegation, and we love him for it. We do.
Yeah.
But it's just got to be, at the end of the day, it's got to be right to move us forward. That's the decisions. It can't be made. These decisions can't be made with emotion. They've got to be made with, is he the right man for the job to move us forward? Don't get me wrong, if he's injury free, he certainly could be, because he's a great football player, fantastic football player. Just got to be injury free though.
Totally agree, Nick. Okay, so second one, score prediction.
I'm gonna go for a big one. I'm gonna go for 4-2 Everton.
Wow, love it.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna spice it up now. 3-1 Everton.
3-1. Nice. As long as Iwobi doesn't score, then I'm all right.
yeah.
Up the toffees, Adam. Up the toffees, mate.
Up the toffees, lad. See you later.